welcome back to Cape County Library Yoga. I'm Kathryn, and we are going to be doing some standing postures and a little bit more of a flowy, kind of rigorous movement today. As always, listen to your breath and listen to what your body is saying. If something hurts or doesn't feel right, please stop doing it. I am here as a guide and less so as a dictator. So listen to your body and what it's telling you to do. Follow along with your breath. If you are having difficulty breathing at all, it's not worth it to continue the practice. So just calm down, come back to your breath, and you can always join us again later when you are ready to do so. If you have blocks, have a couple at your side just in case. They are nice to have handy as a arm lengthener, especially for me, I don't have very long arms. Or it's just as a way to bring the floor up a little bit closer to our bodies. We're going to start in Tadasana today. Finding our feet at least hip width distance apart. If it's better for you to be wider, feel free to do so. And we're letting our body settle down over our feet, feeling the shoulders relax back and down. We're just gently guiding our palms slightly to face forward so we can open up through the rest of the shoulder here. Taking a nice deep inhale. And on our exhale, letting our chin drop down gently towards the chest. Taking a second here to breathe into the back of the neck. Feeling the connection that we have with our feet planted on the ground. And just lightly pressing into the floor with them. Letting the toes gently float up to see if we're gripping onto them. And finding weight and pressure in the base of our big toe, the base of our pinky toe, and the outer and inner edges of our heel. So we have 4 points where we'd like to feel ourselves connected. And as much as possible, we'd like to feel a lifting up of the arches of our feet, as if they could lift up towards our inner kneecap. Take another breath here. And on an exhale, gently let the toes float back down. Taking a second to rock slightly forward and back. Not enough to lift off the heel or off of the ball of the foot, just enough to find out what part of our foot we hold our weight onto. And then gently coming a little bit slower and a little bit slower until we find ourselves centered between ball of foot and heel of foot. And taking a second to rock left and right. Again, not enough to lift parts of our feet off the floor, just enough to see where we're putting weight, where we're putting pressure in our body. And then gently slowing that rock down until we find ourselves centered on our feet. Taking an inhale, let the gaze roll up. And an exhale, let the chin travel back down towards the chest. Taking a couple of these at your own pace. One last inhale to gaze upward. And on an exhale, gazing down. And on an inhale, we're going to rise back up, head through center. We're going to come to the top of our mat if you're not already. I'm going to be switching back and forth between standing in front of you and standing to the side. So I might wiggle and wobble back and forth. So we start in Tadasana, making sure that we're stacking. Our legs are our columns. Our hips are underneath of our ribs, which are underneath of our shoulders. And thinking of the top of our head as the top of that stack. Again, slightly rolling the palms open. And on an inhale, we're going to rise the arms forward and up, gazing up between the fingers. And as we exhale, we're going to drop the arms down, drop the chin to chest. Doing that 2 more times, inhaling to look and rise up. Exhaling to move down. One last inhale. And exhale to roll down. On our next inhale, coming back to Tadasana, allowing the shoulders to roll back and down. Taking a second here, inhaling our right arm up. And as we exhale, we're going to side bend over towards the left. You can bring hand to hip You can let fingertips float. You can bring hand behind your back, whatever feels most comfortable for you here. Taking an inhale to rise up, and exhale to bend back in. And doing a couple of these as we inhale, rising up, as we exhale, side bending over. And allowing the breath to move our flow practice here. Letting the breath start on the inhale, letting the movement start a split second after we begin breathing. And then gently let the right hand come down, taking a second to shrug the shoulders back. On an inhale, left arm reaches and lengthens. Exhale, side bending over towards the right. And then as we inhale, rise. As we exhale, we side bend. And again, taking a few of these, moving in and out of the posture with your breath, noticing how the body feels, and noticing where our weight distribution goes into our feet as we move back and forth. And then inhaling to rise up, and slowly on an exhale, letting the arms come down. On an inhale, again, we're going to lengthen our arms up towards the ceiling. Stay for an exhale. And on an inhale, we're going to tip ourselves back. And as we exhale, we're going to slightly tip ourselves forward. So we're not coming into a forward fold, we're not coming into a full-on back bend. But we're gently moving as we inhale, lengthening the front. As we exhale, lengthening through the back. Again, as we breathe, noticing where our weight has to shift in our feet, noticing what other parts of our body have to help us make this movement. Taking one more inhale. One last exhale. Inhaling to rise through center. Exhaling to let the hands come down through the center of the chest in prayer. Taking an inhale, letting the palms press in. On an exhale, sighing it out. And letting the body shift and relax back through Tadasana. Feeling the shoulders circle back a couple times. And then wiggling out any wiggles that we have. Finding our Tadasana, palms slightly rolling forward. On an inhale, we're going to rise our arms up to shoulder height. As we exhale, hands come down to the center of the chest in prayer. Inhaling to lengthen up. On an exhale, we're going to deeply bend through the knees, bringing our hands down in front, coming into a fold. If you have your blocks handy, bringing them to allow the earth to move up towards the hands. Taking a breath here in the forward fold, keeping a nice deep bend in the knees. Inhaling, exhaling. On an inhale, we're going to rise ourselves back up. The legs are the last thing to straighten as we come up. Exhaling through prayer. Inhaling to open the arms wide. Exhaling to plant the arms back to Tadasana. Palms rolling open. Which, if you notice, when your palms are rolling open, the shoulders feel a lot more held back. We have a lot more space through the sternum. And when we roll in, our shoulders hunch. We get this hunch in our back. So this is a nice trick to keep the chest open and broadening for the shoulders as well. We're going to go through that mini sun salutation a couple more times. So standing at the top of our mats, inhaling arms to shoulder height, exhaling through prayer, inhaling to lengthen up, exhaling to bend through the knees deeply, coming to a fold towards the floor. Taking a breath here. Inhaling, we rise up. Legs are the last thing to straighten. Exhaling through prayer. Inhaling to open to our T. Exhaling to Tadasana. Taking a breath in between, noticing how we feel. Inhaling to shoulder height. Exhale, bringing hands through prayer. Inhale to lengthen up, looking up. Exhale, deep bend through the knees, coming down into a fold. Taking a breath here, we're going to hold on to opposite elbows and take a slight sway side to side. And then letting the hands look down, bringing wiggles through the whole of the body as we move into a forward fold. Planting the hands either on the floor or on blocks. We're just going to begin to pedal out through the heels. Lifting one and then the other. I might be talking fast and moving more quickly because I'm nervous, but always listen to your breath. Even if it comes before or after my cues into postures, listen to what your breath says and move with your inhales and your exhales. Taking another couple pedals here, making sure the breath is moving through the body. And then coming through to stillness, taking that nice deep bend through the knees. On an inhale, we're gonna rise up. As we exhale, hands come through prayer. Taking an inhale here. Exhale, let our arms come down to our sides. We're going to change up our sun salutation a little bit. We're going to add something to it. So taking an inhale here. Exhale to side out. Inhale, arms up halfway. Exhaling, hands through prayer. Inhale to lengthen and rise. Exhale to forward fold. Deep bend in the knees or not, you know your body. Inhale, we're going to press into the floor and look forward. We're going to stay here for the exhale. Inhale, we're going to step right foot back, coming down into a lunge. Take a breath here. Feel the chest moving through the shoulders, broadening through that expanse. Taking an inhale. And then as we exhale, we're going to begin to walk our hips back towards our heel. And we're going to begin to straighten through this left front leg. Bringing the toes up, coming more into a hamstring stretch on our left leg. And then on an inhale, we're going to walk ourselves back through the lunge. Stay for an exhale. Stay for an inhale. Exhale, we're going to move ourselves back into that hamstring stretch, half Hanuman. Taking a breath here. And slowly, when you're ready, on an inhale, we're going to tip ourselves back into the lunge. Take a breath in between. When you're ready, on your next exhale, moving back into the posture. And we're going to move like that. Now, if you'd like, you can keep taking a breath in between, or with each inhale, you can lunge forward. With each exhale, you can move back. And we're going to move through a couple of those transitions. Finding ourselves in the lunge on our next inhale. Stay for an exhale. Stay for an inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to step our back foot forward, coming down into a fold. Inhale, we rise up. Exhale, we bring our hands to the center of the chest of prayer. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to release our arms down to our sides. Taking an inhale. Sighing it out. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So finding again ourselves in Tadasana. Letting the shoulders draw back and down. Inhale, shoulder height. Exhaling, hands through prayer. Inhale, rising up. Exhale to move into a fold. Inhale, we're going to slightly look forward. Staying for an exhale. Inhale, we're going to step left foot back. I like to keep my toes tucked under for this, but you can certainly drop the top of your foot down to the floor. Taking an inhale. Exhale, we're going to stretch ourselves back into that half split, half Hanuman pose. Toes are reaching up. Heel is pressed into the floor. We're also stretching through those back toes there. And then on an inhale, we're going to rise ourselves forward. Stay for a breath. Exhale to stretch back. Stay for a breath. Inhale to rise forward. Exhale, stretching back. And then you can either stay for a breath or just with each inhale, rock forward. With each exhale, rock back. Do a couple of these. Stop when it seems redundant to you. And then on our last inhale, move forward. Stay for the exhale. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to step forward to a fold. Inhale to rise up through tall mountain pose. Exhale to bring the hands through center. Stay for an inhale. And exhale. Inhale to open the arms wide. Exhale to draw the arms down to our sides. Taking a breath in between here, maybe pedaling out through the ankles, moving through the knees. We did some work in our hips, in our hamstrings, and a little bit through the quads. So taking a second to move and to find the breath again. We always want to stop and reassess how our breath is doing, because that's part of yoga is bringing our breath and our body together and being mindful about how we feel and how our body feels in the moment. And then we find Tadasana, letting again the shoulders draw back, the palms slightly face forward. Inhale into shoulder height. Exhaling through prayer. Inhale to lengthen and look up. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to slightly look forward. Exhale here. Inhale, right foot steps back. Low lunge, knee to the floor. Taking an inhale here. And an exhale. Inhale, we're going to draw our arms up. And then exhale, we're going to move back into that half Hanuman, those half splits. And we're going to hold it for a couple breaths. So our hips are reaching back towards our back right heel. We can have the blocks on either side if we'd like them here. And we're really just stretching and breathing through that left hamstring. Again, back right toes can be tucked under or not. Taking a couple of breaths, feeling the chest trying to reach forward towards the toes so we can lengthen out through the side body. Taking an inhale and an exhale. Inhale to draw forward back into the lunge. Stay for an exhale. Stay for an inhale. We're going to plant our hands, shifting back a little bit on that back right leg. And we're going to bring our left foot down to meet right foot behind us, coming into a tabletop pose. Taking an inhale to drop through cow. And exhale to roll into cat. And taking a couple of these at our own pace. Taking an exhale in cat. Coming back to a neutral table on an inhale. Sigh out your exhale. And we're going to draw our right foot forward back into a lunge. So this is the opposite foot that we had in front before. I'm going to tuck my back toes because it feels more comfortable for me, but do whatever feels best for you in the pose. And then now on this side, we're going to roll back into that half Hanuman, half split pose. And we're just stretching back through the sits bones that are reaching towards that back heel. And we're reaching and lengthening our chest forward here. Again, if you like blocks, they are very good to have in this situation. Or anything really that can lift your hand up slightly so that the floor is a little bit closer. Taking another breath here. Inhaling to find that lunge. Stay for an exhale. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to step forward into a fold. And we're going to hold on again to opposite elbows and taking a swing side to side. Before finding ourselves back down through center. Hands coming towards the floor even if they don't touch. On an inhale, we rise up. Exhaling, hands through prayer. Staying for an inhale. And an exhale. Inhaling to open the arms wide. Exhaling to float the arms down. Finding Tadasana, finding the top, the center of our mats, finding ourselves in the center of our feet. Letting the shoulders relax back and down. Taking an inhale here. We're just going to lightly draw our arms up. And we're just going to twist our body side to side. I don't have a name for this pose. My mom likes to call it lazy helicopter. So I just like it as a twisting movement for my spine. Again, if it doesn't feel good, notice your body and how it feels in each pose, deciding if it's something that's good for you or not. I like to bend one knee as I'm twisting towards that side to help bring any tension away from the joint. And we're just going to slow that motion down until it becomes no motion at all. Finding ourselves back in the center, the top of our mats, in stillness. Palms slightly rolling forward. Inhaling to shoulder height. Exhaling, palms connect. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale to forward fold. On an inhale, we're going to come to a half lift, hands to shins. As we exhale, we're going to come back down into the fold. We're going to do that 2 more times. Moving with the breath. On an inhale, we're going to step the right foot back. We're not going to come down on our knee though. We are going to lift up into a high lunge. And then we're going to spin that back heel down, opening up through this front left knee, coming into a warrior 2. And taking a couple breaths here. Noticing our feet and where we're putting weight, and if we have weight distributed between the 4 corners. Noticing if our hands are coming out from our shoulders, or if the shoulders aren't able to do this, just let them come down. Most importantly though, we do not want this front knee dipping in towards our big toe, so we really want to make sure it's pulling out. So finding your version of warrior 2 that feels good for you. Finding whatever length feels good between the feet and the width. and finding and settling in. Then on an inhale, we're going to lengthen through the front leg. And as we exhale, we're going to bend back in. And once again, we're going to do a couple of these, gently moving in and out of the posture. Taking another inhale. Exhaling into the pose. Inhaling out to straighten the legs, lengthening the arms. And then we're going to turn our feet in the opposite direction. So the right toes are going to point towards the top or bottom edge of our mat. And then the left toes are going to slightly drop in. Once again, we're going to find warrior two on this side. So we're going to dip into our right knee, letting the arms rise up. Again, most importantly is our feet connecting to the floor, toes not gripping, and then making sure that this knee is rolling towards the pinky rather than towards the big toe. And wherever you feel comfortable with your arms, making sure they're shoulder height. Maybe gazing over the front fingers. And with each inhale, lengthening up. And as we exhale, dipping back into the pose. We're going to do one more inhale. Exhale to find the pose. Inhale to straighten leg, lifting arms. And as we exhale, we're just going to bring our hands down to our sides. And we're going to bring our toes facing the long edge of our mat, whatever side that happens to be. And for here, we would like our toes either slightly turning in towards each other or the toes facing forward, but we don't want our toes turned outward. So finding a comfortable position here for a wide-legged forward fold. Again, if you have your blocks, it's nice to keep them handy. Taking an inhale to lengthen up. And as we exhale, we're going to bring our hands to our hips as we begin to tilt forward. And then we're going to bring our hands down to our blocks, the highest setting if you have them. Taking a second to press the palms into them to lengthen out through the back. Take an inhale. Exhale, you can continue to bend forward. Again, paying attention to the breath and how it feels in the body. Allowing the crown of the head to move toward the floor, figuring out the most comfortable position for your feet here. On an inhale, we're going to bring ourselves back up halfway. So we have a parallel back, so our back is like a tabletop position here. Hands are either on the floor or on our blocks, or if you have neither, you can have your hands on your thighs. Taking an inhale here, and exhale. And we're going to begin to walk our hands and slash blocks over towards our right foot. And we're just going to stretch over towards that leg. We're going to lift the chest and head up, walking our hands over towards the left foot and leg, dropping or moving down towards a forward fold in this position. And then we're going to move ourselves back through center. Planting our hands, coming into that half lift. So we're on a tabletop back. Really squeezing through the thighs, squeezing into the calves, bringing our hands to our hips, and then inhaling to lift up. Exhale to roll the shoulders back. And then heel toeing our feet towards each other. Shaking out through the legs, shaking and shimmying through the body, moving the blocks out of the way if we need, before finding ourselves back at the top of our mats, finding Tadasana. Again, we've moved out of Tadasana quite a bit, so taking a second to rock forward and back, side to side, finding your center again, and finding your breath. Taking an inhale, exhale to side it out. Inhale, arms to shoulder height. Exhaling, hands through prayer. Inhaling to lengthen up. Exhaling to forward fold. Inhale, we're going to step right foot back. Exhale, we're going to come into that half split. Inhale to the lunge. Stay for the exhale. Inhale to lift the back knee. Stay for the exhale. Inhale to rise up. Exhale to open up into that warrior two position. Take a breath. Exhaling fully. One more inhale. And exhale. Inhale to straighten through the left knee, arms rise up. Exhale, we're going to turn the left toes in, the right toes towards the bottom of our mat. Taking an inhale. Exhale to move into warrior two. And taking a couple breaths, inhaling up, exhaling, dipping down, if that feels good, or just staying in the pose. Taking an inhale here, straightening up through the arms. And then we're going to move back into a high lunge. So I'm going to twist towards my front right leg, moving my toes and the heel of my foot behind me. And as I exhale, I'm just going to gently drop that knee down, letting the arms come down. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to come back into a half split on the right side this time. On an inhale, moving back into the lunge. Staying for an exhale. And an inhale. Exhale to step the left foot forward towards the right, coming into a fold. On an inhale, rising up. Exhaling through prayer. Inhaling to open the arms wide. Exhaling to drop the arms down. So you should be facing the back of your mat now, rather than the top of your mat. We're going to do that one more time so we can bring ourselves back to where we started. So taking an inhale to rise the arms to shoulder height. Exhale, hands through center. Inhale to lengthen and lift up. Exhale to forward fold. This time, left foot steps back first. Drop the knee, coming down into that half split. Stay for a breath. Inhale to move forward. And exhale. Inhale to lift the knee. And exhale. Inhale to rise the arms up. Exhale to drop that back left heel, coming into warrior two. Stay for a breath. And one more. Inhale to lengthen and rise up. We're going to turn the right toes in as the left toes face the front of the mat, coming into warrior two on this side. Inhale, we're going to move now to the high lunge. So our back heel will pick up, our arms will rise up. Stay for a breath. Take an inhale. Exhale to slowly bend that knee down. Stay for an inhale. Exhale to float back into that half split pose. Inhale to move forward into the lunge. Stay for an exhale. And an inhale. Exhale to step forward towards the top of the mat. Inhale, rising up. Exhaling through prayer. Pressing palms together. Exhale to release the arms. Again, finding Tadasana, finding center and balance here. We've done a lot of work, especially in our legs and our hips. So we're going to end with a gentle movement of the upper half of our body. We haven't done much with our shoulders. So taking an inhale to draw the arms up. And an exhale to come through the center of the chest. Stay for an inhale, we're going to lengthen up. On our exhale, we're going to twist our body towards the right. Then we're going to open our arms up, letting our right hand come behind. Letting our left arm drape towards our right shoulder. Finding ourselves in a twist here. In a gentle shoulder stretch. Inhale to unwind and rise up. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to rise up. Exhale the hands through prayer. Taking an inhale to lengthen. And exhale to twist towards the left. On our inhale, we're going to let our arms open up wide. And we're going to let the left arm come behind towards that right hip. And we're going to let the right arm come towards left shoulder. Taking a couple breaths here. And then on an inhale, untwisting, unwinding. Exhale the hands through prayer. On an inhale, we're going to open our arms up. And as we exhale, right arm over left, we're going to hug ourselves in. Opening up wide, touching the arms as far as you'd like. Exhale, left over right, hugging ourselves in. Taking a couple more of these with each inhale, we open wide and big. With each exhale, we draw ourselves into a hug. Switching arms each time. One last one. Taking a second here to really hug through, curling into the body, and taking a second to thank ourselves for our practice today. And on an exhale, gently releasing the arms down. Again, finding ourselves in Tadasana, or if you'd like, it can be seated on a block. There's going to be one more moment here. Letting the eyelids close softly. And then feeling the body just kind of sink into a little bit more of a comfortable position. So not worrying so much about rolling the shoulders back and keeping the palms open and keeping the spine lengthened. We're just finding a little bit of rest here, even if we're standing. taking a moment to notice our practice and how we feel, how our breath feels, how our body and mind feel, compared to how we felt when we began. Taking an inhale and an exhale. Then letting the arms rise and bringing the hands to the center of the chest in prayer. Thank you for sharing and honoring me today with your practice. We hope to see you join us when we reopen the libraries for our yoga as well as all of our other exercise programs. Thank you for joining me today. We will continue doing these until we reopen. Have a nice day.